Let us say we have a NOT gate or an inverter whose input is X and output is Y. When we give input X as value 1, the output Y will be 0. But this Y value or the output of this NOT gate does not come immediately. It takes certain amount of time to reflect the input value X to the Y. Because in the real life, output Y will be having parasitic capacitance associated with it. And capacitors take some real amount of time to charge and discharge. Now let us say the value of X is initially 0 and output Y is initially 1. Now let us say at t is equal to 0, we are trying to change the input X from 0 to 1. So let us say this is time t is equal to 0. Now even though you have changed the input value X from 0 to 1, output Y will not change immediately. Output Y will be in its initial state for some more amount of time after t is equal to 0. Let us say till t is equal to t1 after t is equal to 0, and after that it starts falling but remains in invalid state for certain duration of time, and then finally it settles down to its stable state and the final stage, which will be the 0. Now the time duration for which the output Y was in its initial state for some more amount of time is being denoted as TCD, which we also call as contamination delay. So we can say the contamination delay is the minimum amount of time from the input changes to output starts changing. Now the time duration from the input changes to the output reaches its final value will be called as the TPD or the propagation delay. So basically, propagation delay is the maximum time from input changes to output reaches its final stable value. Let us say A started changing at t is equal to 0 and B started changing at t is equal to t1. Since we have defined contamination delay is the minimum amount of time which will be taken by output B before it starts changing, so this T1 will be always greater equal to TCD, because before TCD it cannot start changing. Similarly, let us say the B came to its final state at t is equal to t2. Now since we have defined propagation delay is the maximum time by which output B will be in its final stable value, so this T2 will be less than equal to TPD, because we know that after TPD output B will be in its final value.